What's going on YouTube? This is ParkerLad88 coming at you with another video. It is finally here. The last of the Galaxy Photon support has finally been released today, and I'm ready to come at you guys with a deck profile on it. So this is my deck profile of G.E.P.D, the Galaxy Eyes the Police Department. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with the monster lineup. We start off by running 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I like running this guy at 3 because he is the catalyst behind all Dark Sage plays, so I want to make sure that I have the optimum amount of this guy. So this guy is awesome because of his damage, because of his battle phase control. His banishing effect is not once per turn, so if your opponent has any battle phase traps they want to activate, you can just keep on chaining this guy, or any effects, you just keep on chaining this guy to it until eventually he wins out, or until like a spell speed 3 card happens to get in the way. So he's really great in that way. I will really love this guy as a boss monster. Next up, we run 3 copies of Galaxy Wizard. Galaxy Wizard is the best card in the deck by far. He has 2 abilities, one of which is he can increase his level by 4, and then you can also tribute him in order to add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand that is not himself. So he basically tutors everything in the deck, and his ability is not once per turn. So he has great combo plays with Call the Haunted and other sort of things like that. It's really cool. Next up, we have 2 copies of the new guy who just recently came out, thank the Lord. He is Galaxy Soldier. So Galaxy Soldier, you can special summon him by sending away 1 light monster in your hand. If he is special summoned, not just by this way, but if he's special summoned at all, you can add 1 Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. So he searches out any of the Galaxy monsters, Galaxy Wizard, you can search out Galaxy Photon Dragon, so on and so forth. If he's special summoned at all, period. He combos really well with Call the Haunted as well, and then he also just helps you set up for your Galaxy Knight plays and whatnot. So I run 2 of this guy. You don't need 3, 2 is just fine. Next up, speaking of which, we run 2 copies of Galaxy Knight. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster or a Photon monster, you can summon him straight to the field without tributing anything. You target 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard. If you have one, he loses 1,000 attack, and then you get to special summon it, at least until the end phase. So he's really great at helping you go for those rank 8 plays. He's usually the guy I like to search off those Galaxy Soldier. He's the backup guy. I don't like using him unless I really have to. Next up, we run 2 copies of Honest, because Honest is a 2. This deck is really good with Honest. I mean, have you seen how big their beaters are? Next up, we run 1 copy of Galaxy Cloud Dragon. It is so cute. You can tribute him to special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your graveyard or from your hand, so you can go for the Xyz as well if they happen to be in your graveyard. I don't know why you would want to, but the fact that you can is really nice. They do beat pretty hard. He also has another ability where if you control a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster, you can attach him from the graveyard to the Galaxy Eyes monster as Xyz material, and you can only do that once per duel. So he's really good at getting your Galaxy Eyes out. That's the reason why I run him, but you only need him at 1. And he's so cute. Next up, Photon Satellite. So I don't think a lot of builds run this guy, but this guy's actually really good. So what he does is target 1 you target 1 Photon monster, and they each become the combined level of those. So if I target this guy and Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, they both become 9, because 1 plus 8 is 9. So if you really let's just go for some pretty cool Xyz plays. So 1 of him, 1 copy of Galaxy Mirror Sage. On flip, he allows you to gain 500 life points for each Galaxy monster in your graveyard, and then if he is destroyed by battle after he is flipped, then you can special summon 1 Galaxy monster. I think it's level 4. Yeah, level 4 or lower Galaxy monster, like Wizard for instance, from your graveyard or from your deck. So what's really cool about him is that he can target anything, including himself. And then, if you don't have Galaxy Wizard, you can just go and grab a Galaxy Wizard. And if you overlay with, say, Galaxy Wizard, it won't get banished by this thing's effect, because if that monster that he brings out gets destroyed the second time, then it gets banished. Otherwise, it would just be straight retarded. And late game, he helps you accumulate so many life points, because you have so many Galaxy monsters in the grave at that time. So 1 of him. 1 Photon Crusher. He's 2k beater. And I like going for some of the rank 4 plays with him. I like the options. Then 1 Photon Thrasher. I love this card. He's one of my favorite level 4 monsters in the game by far. 2100 attack. I don't have to commit anything to the board. And he's a light monster, so I can drop Honest on him. Really nice. And then we have 1 copy of Venus Swamp. Search out a Polymerization, which we'll get into later. Polymerization is one of the best kept secrets in Photons. But anyway, that was the monsters. Into the spells. We have Galaxy Expedition. Galaxy Expedition says that if you control level 5 or higher Galaxy or Photon monster, you can special summon one Galaxy monster from your deck in defense position. You can only do that per turn. So this is one of the main facilitating cards behind your rank 8 plays. Combos really weight with Galaxy Wizard. That's pretty much your bread and butter. It's Galaxy Wizard, make it 8, activate this, get Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and go for an 8. But you can also do other neat plays like grab Galaxy Soldier. Since Galaxy Soldier says that you get your search effect when you special summon by any means, you can get your search. Often with this, and you don't have to worry about discarding him. So, great card. Next up, we have 2 copies of Galaxy Zero. Allows you to bring your Galaxy and Photon monsters back from the graveyard. They cannot activate their effects whenever they do that, and they're brought back in attack position. Then it has another little caveat that says that if your Galaxy monster would be destroyed by battle, you can detach this, or you can destroy this instead, and then the Galaxy monster's attack becomes 0. Galaxy Zero. Yeah, we understand things. Alright, next up, 2 Excel Life. You control no monsters, special summon a level 4 or lower Galaxy or Photon monster. There we go. From your deck to the graveyard, and if you do so, you cannot normal summon, but you can certainly special summon a lot, which this deck definitely does. So basically you use this, and you can grab the baby Galaxy Eyes, or you usually just grab Galaxy Wizard for this. Use Galaxy Wizard to search for something, or if you already have an Expedition in your hand, you just use Expedition and go for rank 8 plays. Next up, we run 3 copies of Trade-In. Trade-In is never dead in this deck because you have a way in the means of Galaxy Soldier of searching out your 8s. Summon a Galaxy Soldier, get Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, send it with Trade-In. If you have a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon anyway, then you just activate the Trade-In. You can even use Galaxy Knight if you really want to. I don't like to because I like to save them for plays, but if I'm in a really bad situation, I can use it. So, triple Trade-In, it's never dead. Next up, we have 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. For back row purposes, I think it's better than Lance in this particular instance. We run 1 copy of Raigeki because we run lots and lots of beaters. It's really great clearing the field and just going for that last little push you need to win the game. Next up, we have Polymerization. You guys know what Polymerization does, and we'll get to why I run it later, because it's one of the best kept secrets, as I've said before. And then we run 1 copy of Rhoda so we can search out either our Photon Thrasher or our Photon Crusher to go for rank 4 plays. Next up, the trap lineup. Yes, this freaking trap. This trap right here. Tachyon Transmigration. This card is so dumb. If you control any Galaxy Eyes monster, you can negate all of your opponent's card effects that were activated in the same chain as this one. It is pretty ridiculous. It's a lot of fun against him. You have to run this card at 3. You really do. It's so easy to get Galaxy monsters on the field, and then also what you can do with this is if you have Tachyon, you can activate this card from the hand, which makes it doubly stupid. I was gonna say something else about this card, but I can't remember what it was. This card's awesome. And then for the rest of the traps, we have 2 Calls of the Haunted. Combos really great with all of our monsters. Let's just go for our XC plays and whatnot. And Galaxy Soldier. 1 copy of Solemn Warning because it's Solemn Warning. And then, last up, we have 2 copies of Star Goblin. Because this is a combo heavy deck, you want to make sure to get to your pieces. I'd rather run other traps, but there's just been too many times testing online where I don't get the pieces I need, and when I get Upstart Goblin, I get all the pieces that I need to go for the possible plays. Let's move into the extra deck. We want 1 copy of Phantom Fortress Interblantier. Remember Photon Satellite I told you about? Let's just go for this awesome-ass rank 9 that you see right here. So this guy has 4 effects, actually, neither of which target. You either banish... Let me actually read this. You either banish from the field, you banish from the hand, 1 random card from the hand, you banish from the graveyard, or you banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Really, really great. Next up, we have 1 Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This guy is just for the hype. You barely ever get a chance to use this guy, but whenever you actually throw him on the field, he is the hype, and he actually does have some great OTK potential. He requires 3 level 8s. If you have a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as one of the Xyz material, then he negates every single card face up on the field. He also has an added ability of you detach 1 Xyz material from him, and this causes you to detach all the Xyz materials from your opponent's Xyz monsters. He gains 500 for each, and then he gains an attack for each. So if your opponent has, like, let's say a monster with 3 Xyz materials on it, you activate his ability, all 3 of those Xyz materials go, he gets 1,500 extra attack points, and he gets 3 attacks on monsters. Or period. I can't remember which. Either way, this guy is the hype, so you have to run it. Next up, we have number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. This is probably the most ghosty deck that I run. I have like lots and lots of ghost rares in this deck. So, he's probably of the more famous Galaxy Eyes Photon monsters. Everybody runs this guy. What he does is, once per turn, at the beginning of the battle phase, you detach and exceed material from him, skill drain the entire field. Monsters on the field cannot activate or become negated. And then, if your opponent attempts to activate anything and resolve said effect, he gains an extra 1,000 attack points for each effect that was activated, and on top of that, he gets a second attack. He only gets 2 attacks. It's not an extra attack for each, it's just 2 attacks. This card's really great against Mating with Eyes of Blue. You summon him out, you use his ability to negate the effects. Because her effect is mandatory, it activates, and basically you get 4,000 attack points, game on board, because he gets the second attack after you destroy it. It's pretty dumb. It's so much fun to summon it out. Next up, we have the main monster. We have my spirit animal in the form of Divine Night Dragon Knight Felgrand, or just Felgrand Knight for short. So he is the best rank 8 monster in my opinion. Once per turn during either player's turn, you detach and exceed material from him. Target a monster on the field, its effects are negated, and it becomes unaffected by other card effects. So he's great at protecting himself, he's great at stopping your opponent's stuff whenever they don't have a lot of options. So, really great card. And he beats for 28. Next up, we have the main big boss daddy monster. He is even on the mat in the form of number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. This is going to be your main facilitator of your OTKs and whatnot. Because what he does is, during damage calculation during either player's turn, detach and exceeds material from this guy, and he gains 200 extra attack points for every rank on the field. So, see how he has 8 ranks? That means he gains 1,600 extra attack points for himself alone. And that adds to and then he gains extra attack points for your Exceeds monsters and for your opponent's Exceeds monsters. So this behind Honest, it's retarded. Honest is a 2, and this guy is stupid. Especially because it's a damage cal thing. Honest activates in damage step, and then after you get those power bonuses, then you activate his ability. So stupid. And then he also has the added ability of, if he is destroyed, doesn't matter where he goes, if he is destroyed and you have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as an Exceed material under him, then you can activate this ability where he comes back to standby phases later and he gains 8,000 attack points. Which sounds really broken, except for the fact that if he doesn't control Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, that he only does half the damage, but sometimes that's really all you need when you have 8,000 attack points. Gotta run it. Next up, we have the Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord Heliopolis. This guy is my replacement for Full Armor Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, or at least until he comes out. So, but he is really great for spot removal. Once per turn, you detach and exceed material from him, tribute any number of monsters from your hand to field, and then you get to pop an equal number of cards on your opponent's side of the field. Doesn't target, great spot removal. Moving into 7s, we have the Gaia Charger for our 5s. Moving into our 5s, we run Bulkasaurus and Constellar Knight Pallades. So, because of Galaxy Soldier and because of Photon Satellite, I can go into these guys, Bulkasaurus, leads into stupid plays, and then Constellar Pallades. You guys know Constellar Pallades, he's just one of the best rank 5s out there. Moving into 4s, we have the 2 Star Lieges, Galaxion and Paladynamo. So Galaxion is really cool, because, and this is also why I run Photon Thrasher and Crusher. You grab Photon Crusher and Thrasher, overlay him for this guy, and he allows you to special summon out 1 Galaxy Eyes from your deck, if you detach 2 Exceed materials, which is usually what you do. You can also detach 1 in order to special summon Galaxy Eyes from your hand. You can do a really neat OTK with this guy, where you go Thrasher Crusher into this guy, special summon out a Galaxy Eyes monster from your deck, activate Polymerization to fuse with another Galaxy Eyes in your hand, or if you have Expedition, basically 2 Galaxy Eyes, and that's 8k on board right there. Also, he can also let you go for a first turn Felgrand Knight play as well, so that's also really cool. Then we have Star Liege. You target 1, you detach 2, target 1 monster on the field, make its attack point 0, negate its effects. If he dies, you get to draw a card. And then for the rest of our monsters, we have 1 Heroic Champion, Excalibur, with we run Warriors, 4k beaters. Sometimes you need to get over stuff. I mean, I already run plenty of beaters, but I like having the option. Then we've got 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight for board wiping. And then we have the best kept secret in the form of Twin Photon Lizard. The Twin Photon Lizard says when you special summon him, you can send him to the graveyard to special summon out your fusion materials. So you fuse 2 Galaxy Eyes together to make him activate his ability to send the Galaxy Eyes away, and you have 6k on board right there. And then you can also overlay that for Felgrand Knight or whatever other plays you want to do at the time. Really, really great combo plays. If you have Galaxy Zero, you can attack with that Galaxy Eyes now. If you have Galaxy Expedition, or if you go Galaxy Knight for those defense position Galaxy Eyes, they're now in attack position, and you can beat for damage and go for plays afterwards. So there was actually a guy who, indirectly showed me this. I was dueling online, I can't remember what deck I was using, but I saw him fuse for this, and then bring out 2 Twin Photon Leos, and then Felgrand came out. With those 2 plays, I was like, I have to run this deck. And then ever since that day, I've been running this deck, and I love this deck to death. It's so much fun. So give this deck a try, guys, if you want to. But either way, that was the entire Galaxy Eyes Photon deck. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll be back to you later with future videos. This is Parker Lad, out.